Hello, and thank you for spending some time with me today so that I can run you through Juniper's SD-WAN solution, Contrail Services Orchestrator. In our last conversation, we discussed some of the core features that make up every SD-WAN solution: application identification, SLA-based path selection, automatic path switching, and encryption. We also talked about some of the value-added features that Juniper can offer in our solution: scale, a true security gateway appliance, customizable Layer 7 application IDs, API integration, intelligent application SLAs. My demonstration today isn't long by design. My intention is to show you the foundational SD-WAN features, some of the value-added features I feel set us apart from other vendors, and get us talking about your business outcomes and how we can help you achieve them. The environment I will be using is a demo environment, but it is comprised of actual hardware and software appliances and runs on the same platform and code version as our production environment. The links are real. The traffic is real. The conditioning we are doing in line to simulate WAN issues is real. This is the product. When logging into the system, the first screen you will see is the dashboard. Every tile you see on this screen is customizable, and to ensure that the information you need is at your fingertips, you can define and name multiple tabs, each with different titles. Here, you can see that I've defined 3 tabs: NOC, Security, and SD-WAN. You'll note that each tile has configurable options, allowing the user to further fine-tune the information to their specific requirements. When combined with our extensive role-based access control, this dashboard becomes a tool capable of delivering valuable information about the health and operation of the SD-WAN fabric to resources both in and out of the IT organization. Next, let's look at an overview of our deployment. Where the dashboard is great at delivering trending and event-based information, the overview is a snapshot of the current health of the system. Every item on this map provides information on mouseover, and each pop-up has elements that can be selected to provide additional information. Looking at US SD-WAN, we can quickly confirm that the site is functioning properly, see which applications are being used the most, and verify SLA performance. More on the SLA performance in a minute. When we click on the site, a sidebar opens up offering additional details. These details include an overview of the WAN links, any alerts and alarms, performance information, and the type of device in use. Again, the data we see can be clicked on should we want additional information. Our intention here was to make this process as natural as possible. If you want more details, you shouldn't have to back out of where you are. You should just be able to click through. One of the foundational components of an SD-WAN solution is its ability to identify applications. As we saw in the Overview tab, our view starts at 30,000 feet, allowing the user to drill down into details by clicking into specific elements. In this pop-up, we can see usage, InfoSec, and categorization information. Switching to the grid view, we see more trending and technical information. Note that as we go through these screens, the ability to sort and filter data is ubiquitous. At scale, there can be a lot of information to chunk through. When designing the UI for CSO, we made every effort to make the path between that pile of information and what you are looking for as short as possible. Identifying applications is only half the battle. We need to ensure application delivery to users. We call this application quality of experience, or AppQoE, and it lies at the very heart of our SD-WAN solution. I think it's important to highlight the difference between AppQoE SLA and a path SLA. There are some vendors who will simply monitor the performance of a link using probes and move traffic based on the output of those probes. Frankly, that's insufficient. I'm sure we've all had the experience where our Wi-Fi has 4 bars, the speed test runs great, but an application we are trying to use is struggling. Link probes they cannot provide true application level data. To overcome this limitation, many solutions will proxy information to monitor their performance, and a few will even push duplicate packets over all available links, just to resequence the ones that show up first at the other end. Personally, I don't like the security and latency considerations that a proxy introduces, and I don't see how duplicating packets and increasing your load makes any sense if you're having link performance issues. When you define an application SLA and CSO, you're not configuring a probe for the link. These SLA performance metrics are for the application itself. The AppQoE process works by shimming probe data into a sampling of application packets on one end of the link, then removing and analyzing them on the other. We call this a passive probe. On the links that the application isn't using, an active probe monitors the link health itself to ensure that, should an SLA be triggered, we don't switch the flow to a link that is performing poorly. You can see here this packet loss, round trip time, and jitter is for the CNN application, not for the link, for the application itself. Let me bring this all together by showing you how an SLA is actually defined. There are 3 profile options, each representing an SLA policy action. To create an SD-WAN policy, we start with policy actions like internet breakout, steering based on link health using a path profile, or steering based on application health using an AppQoE SLA. When we define a policy that combines an action with a source like a department or site, an application or group of applications, we can see that here, where I have a policy named CNN, which has a source of a site, an application defined as CNN, and then an action. This SLA action CNN will map directly to an SLA-based steering profile, and within that profile will be defined the criteria such as packet loss, round trip time, and jitter, as well as session sampling and SLA violation counts, which map to the QoE process. Applications not defined within an SD-WAN policy will either be load balanced across all available paths or use the default path should you choose to define one. There's certainly more under the hood of our SD-WAN solution, but I would like to table deeper dives into things like firewall policies for another day. You can see here that we can configure policies for firewalls, unified threat management, NAT, IPS, and we do support an SSL proxy should we be required to decrypt traffic for analysis. What I would like to leave you with today, though, is a note on enablement. We've made every effort to make CSO consumable, regardless of your experience with Juniper or other SD-WAN solutions. Within CSO, you'll find question marks that provide details on a particular feature or function. You can see one here. That's normal, right? Sure. But how often does that actually include a video? We can click Watch and Learn, and it'll actually spawn a window that will bring up a video. In fact, we have an entire video series on YouTube that walks through setup of the foundational features of the solution. Additionally, we can offer resources such as myself, other experts, software and hardware to help you evaluate whether or not the solution is right for you. So my only question now is, what is our next step? And thank you for your time.